So for us, it's very important as a solutions provider to be able to provide multiple payment acceptance methods.
We are delighted to have you here at the PHILSME Business Show. This is a business podcast and vodcast dedicated to help SME business owners like you boost your business. Get ready for another power-packed episode of the PHILSME Business Show. Today, we're talking to Christopher James Payne, President of Veritas Pay Philippines, Incorporated, and CEO of the Primeline Group of Companies. An accomplished payments and technology executive, Chris brings extensive expertise in digital payments infrastructure and operational optimization. He is well regarded for introducing and implementing innovative systems that enhance cost efficiency, streamline workflows, and drive sustainable business growth. Facilitating the discussion is Mailine Upano, PHILSME's Partner Success Manager. From payment innovation to operational excellence, this episode is designed to equip you with insights to scale smarter and lead stronger. Stay tuned for a few messages from the sponsors that made this episode happen. Boost your business by joining the next Philippine SME Business Expo. Meet face-to-face with over 120 exhibitors. Explore 180 business solutions. Network with 10,000 SME business owners, startups, and entrepreneurs, and learn new business trends from industry leaders. Join the Philippines' biggest expo, conference, and networking event. For more information, visit www.philsme.com.
Welcome to the PHILSME Business Show. I am Mailine Upano, Partner Success Manager for PHILSME Business Expo. And I have here with me Christopher James Payne, an accomplished payments and technology executive serving as President and CEO of Primeline Group of Companies. Hi, Chris. Can you introduce yourself and your company?
Yeah, I'm Chris Payne. I'm President and CEO of Veritas Pay Philippines, Inc. We're a payment processing company here based in the Philippines.
So, can you tell us more about the company Veritas Pay? What are the products and services that you offer?
Okay, so Veritas Pay is basically a payment processing company. What we specialize in is creating a payment solution that can accept multiple payment types on one platform. So whether that's credit, debit, QR code payments, installment, over-the-counter cash payments, whatever type of payment that our merchants might be looking for, we try to integrate and to offer to our merchants. On top of that, Veritas Pay also offers a platform that has multiple methods of payment acceptance. So we have our face-to-face payment solution, which is our Android POS solution. We also have a payment gateway, which is something that you would integrate for your application or your e-commerce website to enable you to transact online. And we also have an unattended payment solution as well. So if you have, let's say, a self-service kiosk, like a vending machine or a gas pump, we actually also have a merchant that does self-service cotton candy dispensing. So it's really important for us to be able to not just accept multiple payment types, but to also offer our merchants multiple ways to accept those payments as well.
Thank you for sharing the company products and services. I think that answers a lot of the viewers' questions, but I just like to emphasize, what are the company pain points that you're working on right now?
I think the main pain points that we address, outside of being able to offer a platform that can accept multiple payments and can also have different or various ways to sort of accept those payments, we also offer top-tier service. I think based on a lot of feedback from a lot of our merchants, service is sort of a lost art, especially when it comes to the tech industry. I think a lot of companies, they scale up very quickly, and I think that's the nature of tech, but they tend to think about the operational aspects as sort of a thing that they will address later on once they've scaled the business. So for us, I think one of the pain points or one of our USPs is really on the service, making sure that we listen to the concerns of our merchants in a timely manner, and we're able to address any inquiries as well. Also adding a very human touch to service. I think that's something that's also lost. A lot of things become more automated, and I think a lot of things become more AI driven. But I think when it comes to finance and when it comes to money, a lot of people want to talk to a person, right? So while we do leverage technology, we also want to keep a human touch as well when it comes to our service. So making sure our merchants are listened to and heard. I think that's a short answer.
Thank you so much. Actually, as a partner ourselves, we really like how Veritas really help us through the process, the whole process. So I think I can agree with you when you said something about the service being there. Like you really see through that everything is done correctly, and you really help us throughout the process. So that's what I really appreciate.
You're making me a very happy man by saying that. Thank you.
I'm curious to know, do you have any other services or products that you're offering aside from the payment solutions or?
When it comes to additional services, I think another thing that sort of sets us apart as well from other players is we also have our own in-house development team. So believe it or not, Veritas Pay was actually built locally by Filipino developers, and previously I had these developers housed under Veritas Pay. But as the business matured, I decided to spin off some of those developers into a separate company. It's another company that I founded. It's a tech company called Naratech Solutions. Because as you know, walang forever, right? So eventually I'll have to find work for my developers. So that's what I did. And the great thing about that is that means I have technical support, and I'm able to also cater to certain requests that are maybe a little bit more unique, right? So I have some partners, for example, that deploy cash register systems, and they'll be like, hey Chris, can you integrate your payment terminal into my cash register so the experience is more seamless for my merchants? And of course, yeah, well, we can cater to that because we have the developers. Our gateway, for example, needs to be integrated into websites or into applications. And while we have documentation naman na pwede sundan ng merchant, we also have our technical staff to assist them and to handhold them. Another example, our unattended solution, right? Each vending machine is different, so you need to be able to do testing for compatibility, and that requires technical resources as well. So we have that. So it's not just the solutions that we have off the shelf. If your business grows and you have a requirement that may be a little bit more customized, you might need to integrate it into another system, we have that service because we have our own software developers here as well.
I know that Veritas Pay is in-house, the development is in-house, but I was amazed that it was developed by Filipino. So I'm curious, how did Veritas Pay came to be? Like, what is your story? What's the backstory?
Yeah, I'm very proud of the team, and having it built, homegrown in the Philippines, I think for me is a very important thing. In terms of the origin story of Veritas Pay, so we were founded way back in 2017. We actually started as a software development company, and we specialized in developing payment solutions that we would then either license or sell to financial institutions. So really, we were like a third-party service provider. And then on top of that, we would basically provide these financial institutions with devices on lease usually, and that would enable our payment solution to work for their merchants. After a couple years, we kind of learned the business, the ins and outs, and we thought, you know what, maybe we can try and do this on our own. And at the time when we made that decision, it's around 2018 or 2019, somewhere around that period, we started to notice a shift in the market. So if you remember back then, it was, you had those really old terminals that kind of looked like big TI-83 calculators or bloated Nokia 3210s. That was yun yung uso noon, eh. And people were transitioning to what you're seeing now in the market, which is the Android POS, the ones that look like Apple iPhones, like Samsung cell phones, right? And what that opportunity really presented was an opportunity to truly create a solution that would incorporate all the payment solutions onto one device. Because if you think about it, how are you going to present mga QR codes on those old devices? The screens are too small, the capability of the devices really weren't built for that. So we thought, okay, well, we learned the business. We see there's this gap in the market or this transition in the market for Android POS or towards Android POS, and that allowing us to create an all-in-one solution. We thought, okay, let's do it, right? It's the best time to really get into that.
So, hearing that, I think in a few years you'll really be a one-stop shop solutions,
Yeah.
since technology is really advancing, so I can feel that. So with that, I know you have almost everything, but can you highlight to our viewers and listeners what makes Veritas Pay special? Like, what is the special thing that you offer against some of the companies with the same solutions that you have? So, like, what makes you stand out?
I mean, what makes us stand out, I mean, outside of the capability of the platform, right? I think there are a lot of providers out there that offer maybe one of our solutions. They might have the payment gateway, but they won't have the POS terminal, right? Or they might have the POS, they won't have payment gateway, one or the other. So for us, it's very important as a solutions provider to be able to provide multiple payment acceptance methods, right? Not just the payment types. And I think on our end, we do that successfully, and I think there are very, very few players in the market that can do that. I think one of the things and one of the challenges I think that some SMEs have as well is they look at the requirements from the now, like, okay, right now I'm looking at making payment app, I'm just looking to set up my website, I just need a payment gateway, but 2 years down the line, they might think, oh, my business is so big now, I'm so successful, I'm gonna open brick and mortar. And then when that point happens, they turn to their processor and they go, oh, sir or ma'am, we don't have payment terminals. Maybe you can look for another provider. So that's when they contact someone like us, and of course, as the vendor, we'll provide the terminals. But, from my perspective, I mean, it would be advantageous for the merchant to be with a processor that can offer multiple solutions already. So from the merchant's perspective, you're not managing multiple relationships, you're not having separate negotiations, and more importantly, hindi mo hinahati yung negosyo, right? The processing is split between two separate entities. So from a negotiation perspective for the merchant, that's a disadvantage for you, right? Because of course, as you know, the more business you do with one person, the better your prices should be, right? I think that's how our business is built, right? Yeah, so that's, I think, our unique selling proposition to our merchants, outside of also our service.
Do you have any business joke?
Stay tuned for a few messages from the sponsors that made this episode happen.
Finding the right talents can take you weeks or months of posting jobs, drowning in resumes, endless interviews, and surprise, they're not exactly the one. BossJob is here to help. We streamline the hiring process by helping you find candidates that are qualified and relevant, all in one app. Don't get stuck in the hiring process. Visit employer.bossjob.com and sign up for a free premium subscription to experience the future of hiring with BossJob.
Do you have any business joke?
Oh, business joke? Oh my goodness. Do I have a business joke? No, I mean, I don't really have a business joke. I have a really corny saying, maybe, that I just came across maybe last week. So I found out that lemons are actually bread, so they're man-made. Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that? Yeah, so I didn't know that either. So the saying is, if life doesn't give you lemons, make your own lemons, right? I'm glad this is the last part of the interview.
Thank you for that. So, yeah, I think we covered most of it. So, yeah, thank you, Chris, for your time. So, if you can just, invite our audience to visit the PHILSME Business Expo, and I know you have an amazing offer for them. So.
That's right. So we'll be at the next PhilSME show, which I believe is taking place sometime in November. Please come see us at our booth. Again, we're Veritas Pay. We're going to be offering exclusive promos for those who are attending the show. So see you at the next 17th PHILSME Business Expo.
Boost your business by joining the next Philippine SME Business Expo. Meet face-to-face with over 120 exhibitors. Explore 180 business solutions. Network with 10,000 SME business owners, startups, and entrepreneurs. And learn new business trends from industry leaders. Join the Philippines' biggest expo, conference, and networking event. For more information, visit www.philsme.com. If you like this show, like and tap the follow button. Please feel free to leave us a review before you go, as this will definitely help more SME business owners in the Philippines. Thank you. Until the next episode.